Five friends travel to Thailand for a vacation, where they are looking forward to an exciting tour of a network of underwater caves. But the adventure quickly takes a bloody turn when they discover that the flooded caverns are home to a highly aggressive shark that was swept inside by the tide. Movies about humans battling sharks have been around for half a century, ever since the success of Steven Spielberg's Jaws established the blueprint for the genre. Strangely enough, the number of these films isn't shrinking. In fact, it seems to be growing. In just the past couple of years alone, we've seen at least a dozen shark-themed survival horrors. In Thrash, sharks prowled the flooded streets of a coastal town. In Fear Below, they prevented thieves from recovering stolen gold. In Deepwater, they hunted the survivors of a downed passenger plane. And in Beast of War, they preyed on soldiers who survived an air raid during World War II. So what does The Devil's Mouth offer an audience that's already suffering from shark fatigue? On the surface, nothing new. It's still a story about a handful of people trying to stay alive in the water while being hunted by a razor-toothed predator. But if you look a little deeper, director Jeff Wadlow does make an effort to steer his film toward another genre classic, Neil Marshall's The Descent. Marshall's film followed a group of women trapped in a cave system with bloodthirsty creatures, and The Devil's Mouth shares more than just its setting. Both films place a strong emphasis on psychology, making the conflict as much about overcoming inner trauma as surviving a monster. At one point, the screenplay for The Devil's Mouth even landed on Hollywood's famous blacklist of the best unproduced scripts. And like The Descent, its emotional core revolves around the relationship between its two lead characters, Sarah and Max. Max is bold, ambitious, and relentlessly driven. She's the kind of person who sets impossible goals and refuses to stop until she reaches them, no matter the cost. She never slows down, constantly pushing forward, making it difficult even for those closest to keep up with her. A trait that becomes critically important once disaster strikes. Should they stay together or split up? Take risks or play it safe? Push ahead or wait things out? Sarah, who has always been quiet and accustomed to following Max's lead, must undergo a painful transformation, step out of her friend's shadow, and finally find her own voice. Of course, The Devil's Mouth never reaches the emotional intensity of The Descent, but Jeff Wadlow was never trying to dive that deeply into the human psyche. Wadlow is a seasoned studio craftsman whose credits include Imaginary, Fantasy Island, and Truth or Dare, and his priority here is delivering a survival thriller, with psychology serving merely as seasoning rather than the main course. A way to keep the audience invested during the stretches when the shark isn't attacking. He has plenty of other tools at his disposal as well. Popular young actresses Kathryn Newton and Lana Condor in the leading roles, gorgeous location photography in Thailand, and violence that's carefully measured to fit within the film's PG-13 rating. It would have been surprising if such an unapologetically commercial approach had won over critics, and the Western press predictably tore The Devil's Mouth apart. There are certainly valid complaints. Beyond its predictable plot, the film suffers from disappointingly cheap-looking CGI, with the shark in some scenes appearing only marginally more convincing than the sharks in modern animated movies. Even so, when judged as a whole, it's harder to level any truly serious criticism against it. It delivers exactly what it promises: solid genre entertainment, attractive visuals, capable performances, and at least an attempt to add some psychological depth. Yes, it's another assembly line product, much like most of Jeff Wadlow's filmography. But let's be honest, was anyone really expecting something more profound from a movie about a hungry shark and a group of reckless tourists?